What have been more challenging songs in the repertoire, or is everything pretty equal?
You know, the hardest ones are ones, because we tend to speed up on stage, which everyone really does. Getting your eighth notes down on certain songs is tough, because you find a song that's recorded at this speed. Live, you're going, and that gets tiring. I mean, you know, I have to, midway through a tour, I have much more stamina, but like when I first come on a tour, my right hand isn't up to speed. So that's one thing that's really difficult, and because it has to be done right or it doesn't sound good. You have to be locked in, and it's really contingent on what our drummer's doing and how much caffeine he's had. So that's really the one thing that's difficult. But otherwise, everything else is complete cake. Just no problem. Do it in your sleep.
So how do you divide up guitar duty, though? I mean, is it pretty much exactly fair and square? Or?
No, it's not fair and square at all. Basically, records that predate my joining the band, I play the solo that would have been Brett's solo, and Hetson plays the solos that would be Hetson's. Since I joined the band, I've wound up doing about 80% of all the solos anyway. So I basically just do the ones I did on the record, and Greg will do whatever he did on the record. Sometimes, just to break the monotony, we'll swap them, like just with an eye signal on stage, when, especially there's songs that have two solos in them, which, you know, is very bad religion. We'll just do that little hand signal, which means we're swapping, you know. We think it's exciting. Fool the sound man, you know, fool the lighting guy. But it's really pretty much a democracy. I mean, Greg could play all the solos on a record if he showed up and played them. I just happen to always be sitting there at the right time, so it works out that way, you know. Once again, highlighting how unimportant guitar solos really are. Well, it really helps me because I have to sing a lot. Because three of us sing, and we're relatively complex backing vocals, and having Hetson hold down the bottom makes it a lot easier for me because there's a lot of intricate vocal things, and my brain still doesn't work where I can completely disassociate my playing with my vocal. And so there's certain things where I have to, while Hetson's going, just because I can't get the word, the cadence right, and that's always helpful. But there's really no more exploration necessary for rhythm playing in this. I mean, it's either you have it or you don't. It's actually a very specific style, and both Greg and I have it because we've been doing it for 20 years. I mean, the experience is really, for this kind of music, is really, really valuable.
What do you do when you're not? I mean, when there's downtime, do you have music that you like to play when you're not doing the Bad Religion thing? Yeah,
I play. You know, as I said, I'm on the banjo tip. I have I just actually got a couple of acoustic guitars I like for once, and I play a lot of bluegrass and you know, mid-20th century country music. I'm really fascinated by. Unfortunately, I live in an apartment downtown in Washington, and I moved out of a house to go to this apartment, and so my drum set and amplifiers and most of my guitars are actually at my friend's house in Virginia because he has a house. So. On the downside, I don't really have a lot of stuff at home, but on the upside, I go there maybe once every 2 weeks, and we get some guys together and just, you know, play a little Wildwood Flower, something like. This one's called Wildwood Flower. It's from my buddy Wally. You know, just the ring. We usually are in tune though. Hick stuff. It's fun. It's Virginia. What do you want, you know?
You mentioned also that you play drums. I'm just curious, does that help with your rhythm playing on guitar? Does it make any difference at all? Do you hear things differently?
Not really, I don't think, because I mean, I've been an amateur drummer for a long time. I think it's just it can't hurt. But one of the things I was blessed with always is having pretty good meter. I just came out of the box like that. So the drumming is really more, it's just because it's really fun to sit down and hit something. And now that I've been playing long enough where I could play in a band provided the set was less than 30 minutes. I mean, my problem now is stamina because, you know, I'm not really exactly in the best physical condition during the off season. But no, it's just another musical thing. And maybe it helps a little with songwriting because I can envision, I can better program my drum machine if I actually know how drums are played, so that there's not too many things going on at the same time. The octopus syndrome that a lot of people fall into.
Have you ever used live tunings? Do you ever?
I hate this one. I hate that. It's just like, so you can just play guitar with one finger. Just stupid. And it also makes the guitar register too low, and I'm not a big fan of that. Sorry, Korn fans, but all that's crap anyway. The one I like is the Keith. That's Keith Richards. I don't know the age group I'm dealing with here, but it's fun to get all of that, like, Exile on Main Street, Black Crowsy thing, and also you can do ZZ Top with it. But it's fun because anything sounds good. Anything sounds good in G. You just hit the strings and it's great. So I don't know. I like happier tunings more than methamphetamine-based tuning. Just really not my thing.
And do you use a lot of pedals? Do you
None.
Effects? None.
Zero. No.
Zero? Is it probably not even?
No. That's the sound man's job. I have a really expensive rack. It costs like $2,000 a week to get this guy on the road. I don't want anything in the chain. I mean, obviously, I'm going to kick them over, they're going to get unplugged, people jump on stage and they're going to get unplugged, that's one reason. Secondly, I think the least complicated, the less complicated your rig is, the best it can possibly be. I mean, I've never been a big fan of that. And considering that for however many stomp boxes you have, out at the soundboard they're actual, like, pro-level rack mount stuff that's going to be much cleaner and not screw up your chain, fine. I mean, the only thing I can see is if you're playing the type of music or you're a player who needs to hear the effect in order to do what you're playing, and that some delay stuff makes sense like that, but for what I do, there really isn't any of that. So I just like to keep it out of the chain, make it easy. Guitar, chord, amp. I've got two sounds. I have this one, and then I have this one. That's my effect. It's called a volume knob. I mean, I don't really need any more than that. In Bad Religion, there are occasions where I cut the gain down a little bit just for intros and things. And then you turn it on, and you're done. I mean, those are two sounds. Thank you. If you want to get crazy, you can use this thing, too. Change your pickup. I wouldn't recommend that, though.
Now, how does this guitar differ from yours that you usually play?
Well, this is a former stage guitar, which now, I guess, isn't because it's here and my gear's somewhere else. It's always the same. Basically, I play Les Paul standards exclusively. I look for light ones. I look for ones that are interesting colors. Usually I try the stock pickup, and if it doesn't work, I'll put a DiMarzio Super Distortion in it, which is exactly what I have here. Stock pot values, 10 to 46 strings. I mean, really very simple. The guitar is bulletproof. It stays in tune. They get heavy, but if you gotta do the time if you're going to do the crime. I mean, that's just all there is. The only negative is they're heavy. But you got to have a good, I mean, not to be sexist here, we refer to this is a man's guitar. This is something that was designed 50 years ago. It's just a big hunk of wood, and it's solid, and you can throw it across the room, and it won't break. It's a really good guitar.